My name is Ryan Hugler with Landscape Legends. We build websites and do SEO for lawn care and landscaping businesses. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to get to the top of Google. This is beloved real estate space for really any home service business that services local customers. As you can see here, this is actually the very first website I ever built. No Mo Worries Lawn Care, Aurora, Colorado Lawn Care. We're #1 on the regular search, second on Google Business Profile. Zionsville Landscaper, we're the #1 company that's not sponsored. Evanston Landscaper, top Google Business Profile, top search. Quakertown, PA Lawn Care, Woody's Home and Lawn Services is first on Google Business Profile, first on regular search. Same with Holtzclaw, first there, and then Indiana Snow and Ice Management is first for Indianapolis Snow and Ice Management. So, at the end of the day, we've done this before. We know what we're doing, and I want to help you understand what SEO is and how you can do it for your own website to actually start getting people contacting you from Google. Because when I was running my landscaping business, I'm in a small town of like 2,500 people, so there was no competition, and all I had to do was just do the little things, and I was starting to get calls from Google, which was awesome because it opened up a whole new stream of new clients. So that's how I got into it as well, is because, hey, it worked for me. Let me try doing this for other people, and here we are. So we're going to look at this in two parts. We're going to look at the SEO aspect, which is really just revolving around this right here. These three businesses in this map. We call it the map pack. Then after that, we're going to dive into how you get your website to rank organically like these normal website listings on Google. So let's dive into it. #1, with the Google Map Pack, you have to have a Google Business Profile. If you don't have a Google Business Profile, go make one. Google.com/business, I believe. Get verified. You may have to record a video, prove you're a legit business. Just do it. And then go get reviews. Get reviews consistently and get as many as possible. Obviously, you want 5-star reviews, not 1-star reviews. But as you can see here on a lot of these, the highest review company is at the top. So we got 113 here, 53, 24. Exactly how it goes. 21, 8, 1, 43, 5, 56. The only one really is here that kind of doesn't follow it. It's like 205 is the bottom one, and we're at the top. But that's more based on keywords rather than actual reviews. There's multiple factors that go into it, but reviews at the end of the day is a very important one. So get reviews. #2, post on your Google Business Profile consistently, and make posts that include your towns and your services that you offer. So, for example, like Zionsville is actually a suburb of Indianapolis, so you could have posts talking about Indianapolis services, and then Zionsville services, and then Carmel services, and that sort of thing. Because these are all like individual suburbs and towns that are in one service area for one company. But if you create posts on your Google Business Profile talking about different services and different towns, you're telling Google, hey, I offer these services in these towns. So then Google has more information about your company, and it's going to increase the likelihood that you're going to show up for those searches. And then lastly, you need to have a website connected to your profile. It's another one of those things that Google scans and gets more information about your company. It is actually, in my opinion, more important than the posting. But having a website that has your main service area and your main services in it is important. Because once again, you can see right here, your website is attached to your Google Business Profile. Google is going to scan your website, read all of the content, and if that content, like for example here, Quakertown, Pennsylvania Lawn Care. This website has content on it talking about lawn care in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. So that's another signal that we're giving Google that this business profile, not just the website, but the business profile that you create through Google, is associated and offers lawn care services in Quakertown, Pennsylvania. So that's a general overview of Google Business Profile. One other thing you can do is get citations. These are just essentially listings across the internet on different websites, telling Google that you're a legit business, your information that you gave them is correct and it's consistent across the internet. And you can do that through like a company like Bright Local, or we use Yext. I think that's more expensive for consumers, but we get a bit of a discount. on that. So that's the general gist of local SEO. Get reviews, get a website attached to it. If you can, pin your location on the map. That tends to help a little bit as well. Service area can work, but pinning on the map, typically we've seen results in better results. Have your website and post on Google Business Profile. So that's general overview of that. Now, if you've done all that stuff and you're still not ranking, there's more finer details we can look into. But if you don't have any of that done, start there. Then from there, obviously you've got your website attached to your Google Business Profile. But your website and making optimizations on your website is how we get to this spot. So like top of the map pack and right here are exactly where you want to be. Because then people see you up here, people see you down here, and if you're running ads, they're going to see you up there. They're going to see you 3 times. So you're going to be like, okay, this company's all over the place. They must be legit. And then they click on your website, become a lead. So how do we get to this coveted top spot of Google with your website? Like I said, mainly comes down to website optimizations, and there's 3 aspects to this. Number 1, technical optimizations. Number 2, content optimizations. And then number 3, well, building authority to your website. So let's go through this. Number 1, technical. Your website just needs to be technically sound and load fast and provide a good user experience. Google wants to provide a good user experience to their users. So if they're showing your website, they land on your, like a user lands on your website through Google, they never loads, so they click away, or it loads and then they don't get any information that they want and they just click right away. Google sees that. They see that it's not an ideal customer experience for them, so they're not going to show your website. So, like I said, it's just got to load fast. It's got to provide a good user experience, good navigation, and you're good to go in that aspect. Now, number 2 is the most important part, because without this, nothing else matters. So, with your content on your website, each page on your website can kind of essentially target an individual service. And on top of that, it can only really target like one service in one location. So let's use Indianapolis as an example. You've got a landscaping company in Indianapolis, and your homepage is talking about landscaping in Indianapolis. That's the core of what you do, so that's what you want to talk about on your homepage, because your homepage is going to get the most traction and most attention, and that's Google's going to know that as well. So have the content on your homepage be about your main service in your main service area. So like it'd be like Indianapolis Landscaper, Indianapolis Landscaping Company, Indianapolis Lawn Care Provider, whatever it is, your town and your city. And then from there, you want to create individual pages for every service that you offer in Indianapolis. So then, like I said, you got Indianapolis Lawn Care. Well, we've also got Indianapolis mulch installation, Indianapolis fall cleanups, Indianapolis lawn area, whatever it is. So create individual pages for your individual services. This is because when people search specifically for those specific services, Google is going to be looking for web pages that cater towards that specific search term. See, this is pretty big, because a lot of people just build like a 5-10 page website, whatever, basic pages, and they leave it at that, which is good. People land on it, they can convert, but it's not going to get you found on Google necessarily, especially in very competitive markets. You need the content for each service and in each service area. So, I mean, you can take this even farther and go crazy with it. You can create a page for every service in your main area, and then you can create a page for every like suburb or area in you, or every town in your service area. But then you can also go through and create individual service pages for every town in your service area. Now, that gets very intense and very deep, but if you're someone who doesn't really want to spend money on marketing and you just want to try to take a stab at this yourself, just sit down once a month, make a new page on your website for a new service or a new service area. It's not gonna be magic overnight, but give it a couple years if you're still using that website. there's a decent chance that you might get some traction from some of that. Now, if you're in a big service area or a big competitive service area, it's probably not going to cut it. I'm going to be honest. One thing to know about SEO and search engine optimization is that it's very reliant on competition. So when you're in big cities with a lot of competition, you really got to stick out above the crowd. Whereas me, in my town of 2,500 people, when I was running my landscaping business, there was no crowd to stick out from. I was the crowd. Now, there's other companies in the area and they have websites, but they weren't doing anything to get found on Google. They were just the only options, so Google just showed them. And they didn't show them very well, they just showed whatever they had. Whereas me, I went through, actually optimized my online presence, got reviews, got my Google business profile, whatever, optimized my website, used the right keywords and content on my website, and I got to the top of Google in no time. And that opened a whole new stream of clients coming into my business. So how do you know what content to write and what keywords to use? Well, you can do keyword research, and with tools like Google. I know Google has one for like AdWords. We use Ahrefs internally. You can also use SEMrush. I don't know which ones are free. We have a paid version, but you can do research that way. You can also just go into Google and kind of like put in part of a search term and see what Google gives you as like frequently searched. But an easy calculation or whatever to follow, a good formula to follow, is your town that you want to target plus your service. Chicago, landscaper. Dallas, mulch installation. Miami, lawn maintenance. It's simple as that, because that's what most people are going to be searching when they're in the market to hire someone for that service. Now, you want to put these keywords ideally in your main headline, your H1 title, as we call it. Throughout your content, you want to kind of splash it in, and you want to put it in some of your subheadlines as well. You can also tag your images with this keyword, so you can title them certain things, add alt text to your images. Now, you may be kind of confused what I'm talking about, but if you're actually in your website builder, you'll probably see what I'm talking about when you upload pictures. And add those keywords to your pictures as well. This is just, like I said, giving Google as much content as possible to understand what your page is about, and if it matches what people are searching, and it matches better than other like your competitors, and you have more authority, as we'll get to here in a second, then they're going to show you at the top. That's the key. Now, authority. What does authority mean? It's honestly not a complicated process. It just comes down to getting other websites to link to your website. Now, how do you do that? Well, there's many ways you can do it, but if you're a landscaper just trying to do this on your own, I recommend using a program called RhinoRank. I'll leave a link down below. You can buy backlinks from other websites to link back to your website. Now, in doing this, you're going to think, well, what am I getting out of it? Honestly, you're not really going to get a whole lot directly out of the links that you get, but they compound over time and they boost your website's authority. Now, you don't just want to blindly buy links. You kind of want to ease into it and grow your website's authority over time. But it's honestly as simple as that. I mean, there's a lot more technical stuff you can get into, and when it's really competitive, you can focus more on that. But in most markets, in most situations, at least that we've run across, that's really all you need to do. You just need to boost your website's authority with backlinks. And I don't know everything about SEO. I know that I have ranked multiple websites at the top, though. And it has followed this exact strategy. So, with that being said, if you are a lawn care landscape business owner and you want me and my team to implement that strategy and get you to the top of Google and attract people into your business who are looking to invest in your services, visit wearelandscapelegends.com. Click the Get Started button. It looks just like that on the screen. And you can schedule time to talk with us, and we can see what we can do to help you get to the top of Google, grow your landscaping business, and bring on more clients.